you ready for another recording, another episode? So I ran into an issue. A pretty mess me up kind of issue. I did all the work of sniffling, but also all the work of figuring out exactly what it would take, and it was so miraculous. But every one of these needed to be a total of 50 cubic meters, right? And sniffle. Of course, that would start as soon as I start recording, right? And it would come out here, and it would fill up the whole space, and it would come down a little bit, and then just miraculously stop in exactly the right place to make 50 for the room to the next one, and it was so great. And that was fine, I connected them up, I did all the work, connecting them up all the way up and down, and then I finally got to the end. Notice I haven't gotten this far in replacing them yet. I finally got all the way to the end, all the way down here, and I think these are removed too, but I got to the container, and it would say 320,000 cubic meters. Well, no. Divided by, or get rid of 2 zeros. So 3,200, whatever. 3,200 cubic meters. That sounds like a lot. But it should have been 4,000 or 400,000 or 425,000, because the first one is 25 and then 8 should make 400. Nope. Turns out the maximum. I didn't find this documented anywhere, but I essentially have found out that at least for a ship, the maximum interconnectedness is going to be 320,000. And it wasn't just a bug on that side, it was the same on this, which totally defeated the purpose. Okay, so I'm like, fine. The game from which this comes never actually specified how cargo got about. It just had a total. And so we're going to assume that the total is the amalgamation of all of these. So I am now treating these all as individual pods. And you can see, each one of them is 48, so essentially almost 50 cubic meters. I'll put in a couple of triangular ones to finish it off as soon as I can figure out which arrangement of those does not block the console. You notice, the console doesn't reverse? So there's that's annoying. Second problem. Okay, this thing, I did all, you've been through me, supposedly, through the figuring out that, well, if this is 2 meters tall and 2 meters wide and 2 meters deep, then 8 cubic meters, and when it actually, you look at it, it was 8,000. So, okay, 1,000 is a cubic meter. Cool, right? Well, no. By that logic, and I'll go to the hovercraft version. By the way, I have started making a shuttle version, or a small craft. Sorry. Did you guys see this? I don't know if you've seen the work I've been doing on this lately. I can't remember. But anyways, 50,000. Hey, get out of the way, retrieve blocks. This right here, effectively, is only 5 cubic meters. Okay, and there's so there's 10 cubic meters for the whole thing. So if I have to increase that by 5, this thing on all of these, 2, sort of Tech 2 heavy engines sticking out the back, and 4 heavy pads, and I don't really know to any real degree how those pads factor into its ability to float, but all that and the computer able to handle it struggles with 10 cubic meters of cargo. In the game, the terrain vehicle is capable of holding 50 cubic meters. It is essentially considered a unit and equivalent to one of these cargo pods. And yet there is no way in hex that's happening. So I'm sort of at a loss. Trying to get that thing to carry 50 cubic meters by its own math, I'm going to have to, I just can't even imagine how that's going to be done. I'm not sure I'm going to even care beyond complaining to you about that. I still have this hangar business to go with. So we're going to just up and decide, okay, These are our cargo pods. This format of them makes them more extensible. You can yank them out and put in whatever you want. You know, it could be a auxiliary plug-in living room, or bedroom or something for dignitaries, and you know, the dignitaries travel with you, and they have their own personal temporary, sort of add-on quarters, all kinds of things. They could be labs, they could be extra weapon ports if you want this thing to become a frickin' gunship. Yeah. But I'm on a completely not terribly related note, I'm really liking this design a lot, and I want to apply it to a shuttle. So, Sniffle. That's kind of what I'm doing. You can see I haven't gotten very far. I'm not going to really spend any time in this episode on it. I just wanted to say, hey, it was happening. It might be that the little guy who's still inside will be the terrain vehicle, though trying to fit 5,000 out of that thing, I just don't even. But it could be that this is the secondary craft. It's just that in the game there was no shuttle. It was just one terrain vehicle, and you could only have one at a time. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I suppose to a certain extent I will be unable to do a perfect homage to that old game, but I'll get what I can. Alright, so let's get into this officially. I have something approximate to a plan. Thing I want to do today, which is a minor not distraction, because it's what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Okay, so we need a control room for really both this and engineering. Oh, you know what else we need? You can only have one warp core, what we will call a hyperspace core, for the sake of the game. You can only have one. Let's see, powered blocks. And, oh good, there's already one in existence. One of these. You can have redundant these, although only one running at a time will actually make the least bit of difference. But, yeah. Having only one, I have to make sure then that it's along the axis, otherwise we'll have a very lopsided ship. So let's put it here for the time being. Put this... Of course there's radiation. Put that here, just to deal with it. Which means now that gives me a full floor position for this thing that I want to make during this episode. By the way, I did work extensively on... Let's send the drone. On the shuttle. It's coming along. You can see it does resemble the other thing. I like the design overall. I'm having difficulty with these side parts because I don't know what should go in them. The shuttles can do less. Like this guy has, resurrection bays or drone, human copy 3D printers or something, whatever the technology is going, and there's room for medical stuff and things like that. This guy can't equip any of those, so it's not as useful. So really it's turned into something of a shuttle instead, which I suppose the shuttle should be if shuttle. So, you got some seating, and they have access to a small, like soda, non-sugar soda thing here, and they can pass it around, whatever. And then you can see through here there is a warp core in there. So this shuttle has a short-range jump, or hyperspace jump thingy, plus access to computer cores, which I will hide in some way soon. I like that the corridors are, around the core are, softly edged. I'm going to do something about this before too much longer, but I just haven't done it yet. Access to oxygen, access to, like, a couple of things, carrier, not quite up to 50, but I'm going to just snake. A lot of this here is made up from container. Excuse me, container stuff too much talking. I think this is warp fuel here. So I'll just, to fill out the rest of the 5 or 10k, it will just sort of feather its way out through the floor here, because, you know, the containers are actually decent, you know, middle grade armor, frankly. But, you know, there you go. Why did I digress? I don't remember. So anyways, up here, we need to actually get started. So all internal walls should be able to be this stuff. I don't want it to really be much of anything else. Now, I suppose... here's one thing I really wish the damn game had. I want this game to have solid glass blocks of various armor strengths. I want the full array of shapes available to these. In fact, I want a wider array. I want these to have a wide array, because I keep running into situations where there's the perfect shape and it doesn't exist, and I'm like, damn, if only. But no, it doesn't exist. So anyways, the point at the moment is there's going to be an upper deck up here that is the operations for all things engineering and hangar. So our floor gives us a bit of an issue. I mean, it doesn't really. No, it kind of does. Look at that. Okay, so this is a very shallow space. Oh, it's not just that, but one of the weapons complexes is... it's up here. I can't remember. I don't think this space is really used for much. Perhaps what I'll do... Oh, yeah. Okay, see, the original design is not specific enough to keep me from doing this, but this room I'm going to have here could have a glassy extrusion that comes out here. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Okay. But first of all, we need to establish there's one human's height worth of territory here. That's not the worst. But perhaps, since we need a weapons complex, we should extend that anyways. So here's... Oh, well, it doesn't stick out, does it? Alright, well, another problem is that the scale of this ship in practice is a lot larger than you would imagine, or you would feel like it is in the original game. I mean, the original game has like a crew of 5 staff. This one has a little bit more, you know, like 7 or so, but still, come on. I mean, you need a lot of space to keep 7 people going. It makes me worry, like, I mean, this thing is probably going to end up being about as long as like the original Enterprise, the TOS Enterprise, and yet that thing had a crew of like 400 something maybe. So I guess most of the crew were just living in like triple bunks or something. Alright, so first up, we needed to extend this a bit because this is going to become... well, first off, it may end up... If it's on the inside, it will be reduced to this polycarbon stuff, but we need basically a pathway across. What are you willing to offer me that's gonna work? And is that flush? No, I don't think so. That one is higher. So our pathway is actually even more constricted. How are the walkways ending up off? They're ending up off by 1 because of this. However, the reason I want this is that people who need to manage the warp core should be able to see it and direct workers to sneezing. Ooh, wow. Okay, so not a Klingon sneeze, which I can do. I didn't want to like blow up the microphone. So, my nose down. Sniff. Gosh, it's hot in here. What the heck's going on, man? All right, so yeah, they can see and direct anybody who has to go below, and I want going below here to be something that people undertake only when absolutely necessary. Alright, so what think you... It's an interesting thing, the texture being like that. Let's give... Whoa! Hello? Give me back control, thank you. Alright, so I fiddled with this some. Okay, good. And the radiation... Oh wait, does it? Oh, crap. What about over here? Not quite non-existent. Okay. Oh. So this thing's a problem then. And the glass doesn't appear to stop it. Well, that's a problem. It's not... Okay, let's try... so much as I hate to do this... Shush, 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 shush. I suppose getting rid of the glass means I have more options when it comes to the shape of this room, but let's just take a real quick... Let's just play this out real quick. That's not gonna work. Alright, let's just go with the original block. Okay, so here we go. I wonder if different types of armor doesn't make a difference. Let's see. I don't know how radiation transmits in this game. I can't actually say I know how much it works in real life either. I do have a nuclear physicist PhD / professor friend who might be able to tell me. I've been gratified actually over the time. Yes, thank you for the radiation burn. Okay, so it doesn't matter the material, I just can't get this close. So that's a complication. We're what am I gonna do then? Let us... The thing is, I don't want this thing to be too vulnerable, so sinking it down in might help. That means I'm gonna have a nub, and that any potential hostile... Whoops, I have to get the back out of... Any potential hostile is going to be, after very little research, is going to realize, oh, look at that, they're just this big gaping spot where we can hit them and they'll lose their ability to escape. Alright, but let's see, let's go on up. And 2.4. So yes, equivalent... I have some radioactive minerals, by the way. I have autunite. And it does scream. I have a Geiger counter that I think ran out of batteries. I should probably check on that. Make sure the batteries haven't like melted inside the damn thing. It's been used so infrequently. But if you put the detector right up against the autunite, it screams. And you pull it away like 2 inches and it's like beep, beep, beep. Radiation does actually not spread. Well, I mean, there's a term for it, but you know, the particles fan out. And the further you are from the subject, the less they are. So this seems to follow that, and it appears that it appears, anyways, that wrong side. Actually, this is fine. That the in-game materials don't make any particular difference on that. This is taking longer than I like. The shield's gonna have to go in down here as well, and this thing is just bulky as hell. It's awkward, it's bulky. Can't there be like 2 or 3 on both of these? Can't there be like left click, sorry, in this case right click, and pick from 2 or 3 or 4 different layouts? Oh man. And this is just, I don't know, friggin'. Now I can walk flat upon it and have devices sitting up here because it's now flush with the top instead of the bottom of the next one up. But this doesn't fit anymore, and this thing just still just gets in the way, and I don't know what the heck. Maybe I will move everything back a little bit. See what I mean? Look at this. This just... it makes no sense. It doesn't attach to anything well. I mean, I suppose I can turn it upright. What did I just do? And then at least it attaches to... Maybe it attaches to the ceiling. Just... I suppose it could attach to a ceiling here. It still doesn't make the least bit of sense. I mean, this design stinks. Let's give us a little bit of room. See? Come on. This is awkward. This is stupid. I hate it. This design is awful. You know what would be really neat is if the game would have you construct the capacity to do these things by small blocks which you connect together, and therefore you can design them and spread them out across infrastructure that makes sense and stuff. But man, 3 by, you know, so 6 meters in each direction is an enormous amount of space to lose for something like this. This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Let's put it there. Oh, shoot. Now, see, I've already put it down. If I want to take it back up again, I have to go right back to swiveling through my inventory to find it again. Oh, man, I just can't. What can be done? Is there anything that can be done to make this in any way... Whoops. An acceptable depression? Oh, yeah. Let's do this. And what can be... nothing can really fit in here very well. This sort of seems to flush. And then I could put this guy in. At this angle, I kind of want him to be upside down. Oh, you know what? What if there was an access point here? So you could get access to the fuel. Notice, though, that on either end, there's no actual, like, port. Nothing you can actually get access to. Well, you know, this has gone on long enough. I'm sorry to use so much of it yammering again, but I guess we're going to come back to the engineering area part 2 next time. So thanks for watching, thanks for your patience, come again, or frickin' else.
For another mile or so, but the storm continued to clear up, and visibility improved at a slow but steady rate until the view obstruction was negligible. Hang in there, Shiloh. The poor dog was so exhausted it almost lacked the energy to care.